It's HTV Today, Houston Television's showcase of city government. Let's go.
All right. Another episode of HTV Today. I'm your host, Ted Irving, executive producer, Mariana Oyenguren, TC, Terry Carter, audio engineer. All right. So, hey, we've got another good show. We have
fingers crossed.
Somebody who is, actually, he's called the Master. I don't know. Oh, well, wait, anyway, his name is...
I don't know about the Master. That's like
the
a
Master.
formal title that I don't really go as it were. No, my name is... Yeah, well, you can tell
Kobe, and my Spanish is, your last name is like a really strong Spanish. Okay, you say
like Quiroga.
Quiroga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, it's a unique name. You don't really see it a lot. I mean, there's some places in Argentina you see it. It's mainly in Colombia you see it.
Right. What does it mean?
I have no idea. If I look into it and like you get those little search results, like what's your last name mean? It's like, well, you come from a valley of kings and queens,
right,
and like you got a flag of like a wolf, and these spikes come out of the ground. It's like, so I own land? No, you don't own any land.
That's it. You don't own.
You just get to have a name. That's all.
So look, before we get into like who you are and everything, so I called you Kobe, but that's actually not your first name. So we need to. Can you help everybody understand why are you called Kobe, although your first name is actually Bryant?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a short story. I mean, so we used to be in another building with we shared a building with HTV TV, and our offices were sort of intermingled, and there were three people in that office space named Brian or Bryant. I was Bryant. There's another woman, very nice lady. I don't know if she's still working there.
Right.
Named Willie Bryant.
Willie Bryant.
That was her last name. So I don't
Shout out to Willie.
Yeah, I don't know if she's still working there. She was very nice.
Still there.
And then there was another person that works here. His name was Brian Hill. So he was here before me. We were working right next to each other. So his nickname was B. So then I was like, okay, well, I really can't be Lil B. I don't like that. I can't be just the other B.
Right. You can't.
Eventually, it was just someone. I won't go into the whole history, but they went. They kind of made reference to Kobe Bryant. So then,
right.
Like they went. His name's like Black Mamba. They said White Mamba, and then there was like, okay, well, I really kind of get it, and then somebody else said Cobes. So then it was like, okay, that's stuck.
So that's stuck. So wait a minute. Wait. It's Kobe though. We're not doing Cobes.
Well, I mean, he was from South Africa, so I mean, he was kind of like he's put his own flair to it. But
Right.
Kobe. So everybody just started calling me Kobe. So he want to get coffee or something like that, like it's called Kobe. I don't let my kids call me Kobe though.
Yeah, right. No, the kids. No, that's it's just work. That's your work name.
That's
work
a
name.
That's like a whooping name.
Right. So, all right. So, where are you from?
I was born, raised here. Technically Houston. I guess Sugar Land. After a while, we kind of lived in about when I was about like 12. We moved to Sugar Land.
Right.
But I lived in Columbia for like 3 months, once, twice.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Over the summer.
Over the summer, but it was just kind of like you don't like legally move there, but you're there for like a long period of time. So then you kind of pick up different things, but it was nice. So.
Okay. And just like everybody at HTV, college. So where was that?
I went to U of H, actually. I had the
cool.
go Cougs.
Well, what about Sam Houston State, man? It was just down the way.
Best. I mean, I couldn't afford that. I mean, I was a legacy. I was in.
We're cheaper than U of H.
Well, I was a legacy. I was in.
Okay.
Plus, I mean, college nowadays, you let anybody in. You got enough money. I mean,
Right.
I did go to what's Wharton County Junior College before they rebranded themselves. So I went there before they became like the Wharton County Junior College.
Okay, got the going away experience and everything. Okay, cool.
So it was good. I recommend that to anybody, especially my kids.
Right.
Like go to junior college first, then go to university. Saved me a lot of parking permit fees. It's still going on. But
what about your obviously HTV? We're all about television. So now what's your background in TV starting from college? Is this something you always wanted to do? I mean, how did this come about?
My big goal was I was going to be I was stupid. I was going to be like Ernest Hemingway and Scott Fitzgerald, and I was going to be like, okay, let me go be a writer. And I worked for the
little
paper.
Old Man in the Sea.
Yeah, I was getting a journalism degree. I actually had a lot of the teachers that I had, my dad had. So it was amazing because they were still alive.
Right.
And it was just kind of crazy because I was like, yeah, my dad would tell me, it's like, he's still teaching? I'm like, yeah, he's still teaching. He's my teacher. And he's like, really? What's he like? Is he still like this? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. He's still kicking. I mean, my wife almost ran him over 3 times. I was running late to class a couple times, and I was like, we lived on campus, but I was like, just drive me there, because I can't be late. And then she almost ran him over on his way to class 3 times. I'm like, I gotta hide. So I was still late.
Right. You stay. But basically, the Jack Valente School of Communications, University of Houston, that's kind of where you. I mean, what did you pick up as you know what, I really like this outside of the the writing?
Well, just to answer, so to get to the TV aspect of it, it was a very big thing. Like, okay, well, it hit me like a brick house one day, and I was like, okay, this print thing isn't working. This, it's not. There's not a lot of big future there. Newspapers were folding. I had Chriselle was my journalism teacher there. And then okay, we'll go to TV because that's where money's going to be at. Even though we know now, it's that's also not really the safest bet. But if you're passionate about it, then that's what you got to go with.
Right.
And
right.
At the time, U of H was the school, Valente School, was going through a renovation. So their TV2 program was kind of going more towards a film-centric thing because that teacher was mainly coming out of that world. And I had Craig Crow as my main television teacher.
Craig Crow.
Yeah.
Crow Productions.
Yeah, no, his son. The son.
Yeah.
So then, he was my main teacher there, and then he actually recommended, when it's time for get internships, I said, well, I don't really know which one to go to. And then he recommended HTV, which was just turned from municipal channel to HTV. And HTV was a place you could actually get your hands on gear.
Right.
So as opposed to if you went to Channel 2 or any other place, then you would, it's okay, maybe you might touch something, but you're just watching people do stuff. So you don't actually get to get your hands on gear or get anything put out there and made. So this was a real good hands-on place to do something where you could actually go afterwards if you luckily I was able to, through a set of circumstances, get a contract job, then become part-time and then full-time.
Gotcha. So through all of that, as we go back to the very beginning of the show, I called you master. So now you are the person who is over master control, i.e., well, from where I come from, we called it mother control. So what's this master control thing? What is that all about?
Essentially, it's always kind of hard to explain to anybody that doesn't really know it or I work in TV station because when I explain it to people, it's the best way I do it at a party or anytime I'm just someone that doesn't know, I just tell them, when you watch TV, whether it's broadcast, cable, anything, you're watching a scheduled playlist of the whole time. So every second of the day is accounted for, or you hope it is. So if you're watching regular TV on network, then when they go to the everyday news or a live event, they're interrupting what's there. If they're going to a regular newscast, then it's a scheduled break. So they have to be on time all the time. Everything has to be scheduled by the second, sometimes to the frame. So that's what I do here. But more than that, I'm also kind of technically a technical director.
Gotcha.
In terms of putting in graphics for meetings and live events whenever we don't have a second sort of audio source that someone has to control.
So look, on the serious side, though, why do you think your particular position is important in terms of our constituents and trying to showcase transparent government?
I would just say that in terms of why my specific part is important, it's really just more without someone there to press the button that makes things go out. That's my main function. If I was gone, I mean, anytime I go on vacation, it takes 3 people to well, I might be exaggerating that. It takes at least 2 people to stop doing their jobs to do mine.
To do what you do, right? Critical job.
Not that it's okay, oh, hey, it's just that their job then has to go on the back burner to do that, and then however long they spend doing my job, it just depends like that. I usually say everyone gets 5 mistakes a month in terms of a graphic or something. And then like sometimes it'll be like, well, I was like, all right, that's why you need me, because I make only 2.
Yeah, and the other part of your job, which is interesting, is closed captioning. So how does, I know you don't do the closed captioning. We
No.
have someone, but you work closely with them. And so kind of explain that and why that's important.
Well, shout out to like Marie Bryant and Jennifer. They do the closed captioning. So we used to have before Harvey. We had everything was set up to be done next to me. So they would do captioning, and I could make sure it was working. Be like, okay, we have captioning, we're good to go. If we have a technical problem, I can go get the engineer and say, hey, okay, here's where it is, and I can kind of help diagnose where that is based on preliminary information. But closed captioning just really, it's a needed thing that helps the hearing impaired, that they need to know what's going on, because they're just like everybody else. If they want to be informed about what's going on in their government. And if they can't hear it, and we don't provide that captioning, then they don't know what's going on.
Right.
So it's one of those things where those 2 very talented persons are there making that captioning appear, and it's a very technical skill.
So look, on a very, 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 very serious note, you actually provide a in-office service. Can you explain that service and this?
Well, if this is, I'm not sure this is the service you're talking about, but I do. I feel like as the friendly neighborhood Colombian man, I will go and get coffee for certain individuals.
You go get
Now I don't buy it for them.
Right.
They give me the money or they pay for it. I go pick it up.
So instead of Uber Eats, it's kind of like, what is it, Kobe Eats? Or
it's just mainly a way to kind of, because if people don't know mass control is usually a sealed off area.
Right.
There's not like, I got a window now. I used to have a window at the old building. So I have a window, but it's not like a direct window. I have to like move away from my workspace to look at the window.
Right.
But I appreciate the window. Don't take the window away. But so I like to walk outside every once in a while. I don't care if it's rain, shine, or snow. We don't get snow.
But a little fresh air.
Yeah, it's just nice.
Got it. Okay.
So I just go out and get it.
Kobe likes to get his steps in.
Get steps in, right. Do you have an app that calculates everything?
We used to. We had Fitbits, and I got a Fitbit specific because I thought, like, okay, it's going to be a free, like, thin watch, and, like, it wasn't that kind of Fitbit. It was just, like, it's like, but then I was the leaderboard on the little competition, like, twice, and then I retired. I remember one time it was really hard competition, like, Daryl Hughes, he was on here before, too. He, one time on a Saturday or Sunday, I saw his numbers were going way up, and I was like, I need to win this. And then so I started going out, and I'm like,
Right. You're like, hold on, wait a minute.
Like, there's no prize for this. I just wanted to win it, and I took a screenshot of it on my phone, and I just keep it on a favorite list, and I'd be like, I won that. Yeah.
Okay, so look, another little fun question. I know you're a movie aficionado, but you're also a Marvel DC guy.
Okay.
Kind
of. I like film.
Right.
In terms of like Marvel, DC, like I grew up reading comics and stuff. I do like like my dad was big sci-fi. He loved Star Wars and different things. But I don't know. I like it. I just kind of feel like I like more the idea as opposed to the implementation of everything. So like I'll understand what's going on. I'll keep up with it, but I don't go to the shop every Wednesday or something.
Okay.
But I just keep up with things. Like it's like art. Like I like the art sometimes, but I'm not a paying customer.
Right.
So to
You know what I
speak.
mean? You just
like,
you see it look good, you like it, you appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, but if I go to the movie theater, I'm like, okay, I'll watch it.
Okay.
And I'll analyze it sometimes too much. A lot of people here would be like, you overthink.
So look, last question though, back to kind of a serious note. Where would you like to see HTV in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years, I would say, and I don't know how much we talk about in this podcast. I know we got to finish up real quick, but I mean, I think just thriving, maybe doing more community-based things, like putting it out stories like that way, and then also maybe reaching out to maybe just maybe being more active with council members.
Gotcha.
That way, it's like you can really kind of say, all right, listen, we're the window for people, that choose to watch us. We're the window that shows how your government's working. And the best way to show that is to say, okay, listen, hey, you know your district more than we do, or better than we do. So you can just kind of tell us, hey, listen, I want to highlight this in my district because this right here is what I want to focus on. And if that's what you want to focus on, and it's a positive thing for the city as a whole, then we can bring attention to that and also build a relationship that makes it so that we work for the whole city. It's not just, okay, well, we only put on city council. We do a lot more than city council and other meetings, but that is our technical mandate. So, but if we can make connections to other council members and then see what they want to offer.
Man, awesome. Hey, really want to thank you, Kobe, for coming out. And actually, let me say the full name. Bryant, ¿Cómo te llamas? No, how do you say what is your last name in Spanish?
How do you say that?
Yeah, how do you say what is your last name in Spanish? Instead of just
¿Cómo te llamas?
Oh, they're really the same thing?
Yeah.
All right, well, you say your last name.
All right, Quiroga.
Okay, Quiroga. All right.
You had it.
I had it, right? I was good? All right. No, thank you. Thanks for coming out. All right, this is another episode of HTV. I want to thank our audio engineer, Terry Carter, executive producer, Mariana Oyunguren, and all HTV staff, City of Houston employees, and another great show, y'all. Yeah, what a claps. Do we have sound effects claps? Oh, we have guests. Yeah, we have guests in today. Hey.
Department of Neighborhoods.
Department of Neighborhoods is in. Yay. All right.
It's HTV Today, Houston Television's showcase of city government. Let's go.